Greetings and welcome to Zord's Planetary Space Program episode 31, where I am sick and tired of this lag. So I'm gonna try to do something about it by removing this fuel tanker, which is honestly unnecessary. We have more fuel storage capacity than we have fuel, and we're not gonna get any more fuel since there are no ships heading this way. So I'm just gonna put this one away somewhere in a graveyard orbit or something. So we're running on 2 engines because I minimized the fuel left in the ship, and we're burning retrograde so that it maybe gets into the atmosphere. I don't really care. We don't care about this thing. This episode we're going to care about something else, and that is Laythe, and more appropriately the Laythe plane. So we're starting by switching it from its interplanetary configuration to its, I don't know, other configuration. And we remove the nuclear engines, which there's no room nor need for. And I shortened this bit because it took a while. And then of course we need a pilot, because that's the whole purpose of bringing the plane here, to land a Kerbal on Laythe and get him back. And of course we are flying with Jebediah Kerman. I mean, why not, honestly? So now the plane has everything it needs. It has the right engines, it has fuel, and it has Jeb. So we undock and spin a little. Just correct that. I'm not going to put the aerospikes where they belong until we're out of physics range, because I can as well do it out there, and it's more comfortable. Look at the station. It looks really good from in here. Yeah. Okay, so now we need to distance ourselves from the station, if you know what I mean. And this takes a while because we're using RCS, because the engines aren't mounted yet, so cut it away to save time. And now we are mounting our modular aerospikes. And let me tell you, these guys are the best modular engines construction-wise or piloting-wise, because they have they're so short that the center of mass is really close to where the RCS thrusters are. So they're really easy and comfortable to fly, especially compared to the nuclear engines, which is basically like trying to steer a tricycle with an elephant on one wheel while drunk. I don't know. I have really no idea where I was going with that. So we are deorbiting, or doing a deorbit burn. We're going to bring our periapsis down, and then we'll rely on the atmosphere to break us, because it will. So we use mostly RCS to do this burn. You can see I've used very tiny amount of liquid fuel, because, well, of course we're going to need that later. This is the easiest part. So trying to use as much monopropellant as possible. And then we time warp till we hit the atmosphere, and when we hit the atmosphere we continue to time warp, but using physics warp. Look at the joule rise. Looks really good. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the thumbnail. So I'm aiming for this large island ahead. Let's see, this one. And I'm trying to already pick out a good landing site. And it's kinda hard. I think by the lakes maybe a good place, because I'm thinking it should be flat. I'm getting a bit of re-entry flames, but it's not a lot. So we are activating the intakes. We're activating the engine. We're not throttling it up yet. Let's see, where can you land? By the beach? Generally not land on the island. Whoa, we're losing vertical speed quite fast. Let's fix this. Okay, so I'm going to try and land on the beach in this direction, because this will require the least amount of, overland maneuvering. So we put the gear down already. We are losing speed, losing altitude quite fast, and it's not really a problem now, because we are going to land after all. So let's see, let's put ourselves close to the ground so that we can put the wheels down quickly should we see a good stretch. And here I'm worried about a hill overhead, so let's wait with landing. See, here's the hill. Yeah, that's quite close. So I think this is where we should land. It looks good, right? Yes, it does. So let's put the wheels down. Oh, okay, now this is the hard part. Don't smash something. Come on, come on. No, 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 no. Come on. Oh, don't. Stop. Yes, yes. We survived the landing. And look, there's Yule on the horizons. Beautiful place. Okay, so put the parking brakes on. Do not forget. And then we EVA Jeb. And if you look closely, you can see a glimpse of Val hovering over the horizon opposite to Jewel. Okay, so flag, we should plant the flag uphill from the aircraft because that's pretty much the only place where it's guaranteed to not be in the way. So Laythe landing site, huh? How about that? And Jeb was here because I can't think of anything else. And let's get back. Now, most people don't realize, and I didn't, that's the reason we have this plane, that Laythe is actually a really hard place to land and return from. Well, landing is easy because you have the atmosphere and brakes. It helps you with the braking. You can use parachutes. But Laythe has the same gravity as Tylo, 0.8 g, and that's quite a lot. And Tylo is famously hard, but Laythe is only easier if you have air-breathing engines, which is why I do. I didn't consider it. I thought it was like Val, which is like the Mun. But no, it's 0.8 Gs. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, we are airborne again. It's comparatively easy taking off when you have the terrain at your advantage like this, like I had, sloping down towards the sea. I have done test runs where taking off is as hazardous as landing because you're trying to do it on the highlands or something and you're running into hills and bouncing all around the place. Looks like we're flying into Jewel. Fortunately, Jewel is quite far away. Okay, so we have gained altitude and now we're going to pick up speed, and this works rather well. We're picking up a lot of speed very quickly. Generally this plane flies similar profile to how it does on Kerbin, to different values for the altitude and velocities. Since Val is smaller and has a little lower gravity, and there we switch over to the chemical or the rocket engines, and we turn off all the air-breathing engines. We raise our apoapsis. How is the fuel looking? Fuel's looking very good, but we have the big burn left, and let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna spend some time moving the fuel around so that I'm sure that the engines have access to all the fuel they could possibly need, or all the fuel that I have brought anyway. So let's see if we can get the... Yeah, this is very good. We have the encounters somewhat close to the ascending and descending nodes, which is fortunate because the inclination I got myself into is horrible. And if you don't have to do an extra inclination burn, that would save a lot of time. And hopefully some fuel too. Okay, so it's time to do the circularization burn here. It's better to do a burn than no burn, but have a good maneuver node. So we're gonna do the node after. Let's see. Okay, we are in a stable orbit, and we have most of the fuel left. So yeah, you know, this plane was built for Kerbin, after all. I seem to remember at least that it took off from Kerbin as it is now, just in the configuration it is, meaning that it is slightly overpowered for Laythe. Which is good, because we need a little more room, as you see with the inclination and everything. So we're approaching the station, and I feel like approaching a station is the only thing we do in this series, so I'm going to spare you the most boring details, just making sure we get a clean burn, so we match velocities somewhat good. And yes, that looks very good. So here we are again, docking where we undocked it, the same port. You know, you pick it up where you leave it. We have turn it around 180 degrees. And there we go. Everyone's back at the station, safe and sound. We have a flag on Laythe. Before we go, we need to transfer the crew to the other command pod on the moon lander thing. This one. Because next episode we're going to go to Val. And after that we only have a few bodies left. This space program is nearing its end, and it's about time considering we are 2 patches behind. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Okay, but you know how to fly Kerbals on EVA. We just switch all 3 of the guys, Bill, Jab, and Bob. And here's the last one. And there we go. And that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Bye!